think what people have to do is you got to hold it together. You've got to avoid wallowing in self-pity, and you got to find the principles like be dignified. When I work with HR teams, I say that in the average person's work life, you go through 4 upheavals. Every person goes through at least 3 of the 4. Upheaval 1 is death of your parents. The vast majority happens during your working life. You lose your parents. Now, there are people that make it all the way to 65 and their parents are still okay, but they're the rare ones. The majority of people will bury their mother and father during their working life. We have to be there for our people and support them. But it's not support forever with no limits. I mean, it's support within within a zone. I mean, you still have to get back on the game because everybody loses their parents. Everybody. So you can't go around and say, "My father died. I can't work. I can't do anything." Well, you're gonna have to get back on the horse here. Everyone will lose their parents. That's number 1. Number 2 is having kids. Wonderful thing, but it changes your whole life and your perspective. The minute that baby's out, your life is different now from every day forward. We have to be there and support them and help them. I do coaching. I've got 7 kids. I do a lot of coaching. How do you manage a professional career with being a father or a mother? Number 3 is getting married. The vast majority of people get married. And we have to be there with them because that will be a change. They have to manage now 2 people in a partnership and, cohabitation, the whole bit. And the 4th one, not everybody goes to, but 50% do, is they get divorced. And these are incredibly disruptive. They can be positive, but they're disruptive. And so, my professional career, I lost my parents and right when I started in my early 20s. I had 7 kids through my entire career from 0. I got married twice and I got divorced once. And, on top of that, I've of course been fired. I mean, my firing from P&G is, I'm very transparent. I have no room for people that are always making up bullshit stories. I had decided to leave and pursue my passion and spend time with my family. It cut me up. And then you go to Pepsi the next day. I mean, where's the whole family thing in that one? Please explain that to me. Officially in the books, I retired from Procter & Gamble as a retired officer. It's official. But reality is I was fired. Now, I was fired in a very dignified manner that allowed me to leave after a year and to take retirement and do all this stuff. But at the end of the day, they said, we don't want you anymore. The day that call came and I knew when I got the message on my Blackberry that I was going to get fired. I could tell, call Cincinnati, call us at this number. There's no reason for that. I'm going to get fired. And I turned to my wife and I said, I'm going to get fired. Sure enough, I got fired. And that next day I went into the office and the company doctor knew me well. And she looked at me and said, you don't look very well. Let me take your blood pressure and stuff. And the blood pressure is very high. But I can't say anything. This is not being announced and it's not going to be announced for several months. And I've got to hold it together. And she says to me, do you want anything for it? And, I'm still mad at myself. I said, yeah, I do. And so she wrote me a prescription for Prozac. And I went home that night. And I was hurting so bad inside. I was devastated. And I took this Prozac pill, the first pill, and it kind of knocked me out. I went to sleep for a couple hours and stuff. And when I woke up, the company doctor was at my bedside with my wife and one of my kids. And I get up and everybody's all worried and freaking out. And I'm going to have a heart attack or whatever. And I went into the bathroom and I took the Prozac and I flushed it all down the toilet. And I looked in the mirror and I said, you weak. When things get tough, you look at chemistry and you're going to fix it with chemistry. And I'm not saying that there aren't people that need this, but I don't think my case was where I needed to be doing that. It was driven from a point of seeking an exit, a way out of the pain. And I've never taken another SSRI or antidepressant, whatever you want to call them, since that day. And that goes through the divorce. That was very terrible back in 2015, 11 years ago, and everything goes with it. What you have to do is, I always say, I will go out standing on my feet, not on my knees. And so I left P&G with complete dignity and honor, to the point that the vice chairman of the board called me my last week and said, we're all amazed at how professional you are. No bad mouthing, none of this stuff, only positive things, doing everything they asked me to do up until the last minute. And even after, whenever requests and questions, I would get on a call. It wasn't like, no, I'm done. You're not paying me. Forget it. I did, beyond the call of duty. I think what people have to do is you got to hold it together. You've got to avoid wallowing in self-pity, and you got to find the principles like be dignified.
Thank you for watching this episode of Arcaro Insights. If you'd like more tools and techniques for thriving in an adaptive world, hit the subscribe button now. Even better, share this with colleagues and friends who face similar challenges. They'll thank you for it.